This is very cool when this kind of stuff happens. 99.1 PLR, 95.9 The Fox, Chaz and AJ in the morning. Yesterday at this time, we were talking to attorney Norm Pattis about the Connecticut murder case that turned into a movie. It was The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. It was the story of a young boy who was supposedly possessed by the devil. And then somebody said, "Take me instead."
Yeah.
And then the devil said,
He did.
"Okay.
Hey, right? I go, oh, great. Why not?
Will do.
Yeah.
Your wish is my command."
Hey.
That person ended up murdering someone.
Yeah.
And then they went on trial, and it was "The Devil Made Me Do It."
Yeah.
That was the defense. So this attorney is listening and says, "Hey, wait a minute. I was involved in that case.
Sounds familiar.
I'd like to come on the air."
Yes.
So here he is, attorney Max Rosenberg, judge of probate.
Hi, guys. How are you?
In Stratford. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to hear your voices and be able to interact with you. I listen to you guys all the time.
Thank you.
Wow. He's someone smart listens.
In fact, before you even asked me about this, I owe you guys a big thank you from about 2007. The Diaper Derby in the Milford Mall, the Chaz and AJ WPLR Diaper Derby.
Wow.
My son Zohar won that. I don't know if you remember Speedy Z. So I owe you a big thanks for that lawn tractor.
wow.
How old is he now?
He's a sophomore at St. Joe's. He's 15 years old. He'll be 16, I guess, a little bit later this year.
And we should have a rematch. We should have all the kids come back and put diapers on.
And out of diapers, right? Yeah.
Yes. I'd watch.
You're a lot faster now.
You'd definitely be happy to do that. We still call him Speedy Z.
Nice.
Before we get into this Conjuring murder, Devil Made Me Do It thing that you were involved in, we were doing Dumbass News a few minutes ago, and we were talking about this bicycle rider who had an incident with a bull. And the bull flung him like an omelet.
Yes.
The bull won.
The bull won.
Yeah.
Did you tell Phil
Yeah.
you had a similar incident?
I did. I was on Mount Carmel in Israel with my wife and her two aunts. And her two aunts were taking us all over the country. And I have this sneaking suspicion they were testing me and putting me in awkward situations to see how I would react. And this was this beautiful pastoral green rolling hills part of Mount Carmel. And we saw this large grouping of cattle. And they said, "Oh, no, step back further. You're going to get in the picture. We'll get you in the picture with all the beautiful cows." And so I kind of start wandering over towards the cows, and I run a little bit closer to it. And they go, "Okay, back up." And then I realized that a bull was noticed to me. I didn't realize they were adding bulls. And the bull makes the snorting sound, and I start running over the hills, and the bull's chasing me, and I'm screaming, "Start the car, it's not a cow."
Why'd you give me this red cape?
Start the car.
They laughed at me in the car for hours and hours, and the whole vacation it was like, "Start the car, start the car."
Wow. Yeah, they love
Start
you,
the
huh?
car.
Yes.
Start the car.
I can't go to petting zoos anymore.
That's
Yeah, I
great.
can't even go to the zoo.
I wouldn't.
So
Get some milk, you forget.
what was your involvement in this case?
So I came into this case around 2009, 2010. This is like almost 15 years ago, as I recall. And we were the second group of attorneys to work on the case for Carl and David Glatzel, the two young brothers who were allegedly possessed by a number of demons. And we were bringing a complaint against the author and the Warrens about defamation and invasion of privacy, because the boys were minors when everything occurred. But they started publishing the book again once they were adults, and it had a massive effect on their lives. You know, they've been struggling with this their whole youth, and suddenly to grow up and to have it in the past, it was like a blessing. And then suddenly the book gets republished, and suddenly there are movies and there's TV shows and there's all this media attention all of a sudden renewed. And it was kind of it was disastrous to them and their mental well-being.
And so you were defending or representing?
No, we were prosecuting a case for the Glatzels. We were bringing a claim against the author and the Warrens. Yeah.
Okay, but you were representing the youngest kid in the Conjuring movie. That's the only reference I have of this case. That movie is the original kid who was possessed. the young kid.
Right. That's correct.
Okay. How did that?
And,
how did that case work itself out?
well, I can't talk about how it resolved. There's non-disclosure, but I can say that everybody was satisfied at the end of the case, and it moved on. But it was a bizarre and interesting case to be a part of and to research and work on and read through all of the materials and the books. And there were a bunch. But what was the most interesting thing about it was communicating with my clients. And it wasn't that they were so strange or anything. It was just that every time they would walk into our office, the lights would flicker.
Oh, wow. That's freaky.
And I'm not saying that there was anything. I mean, the whole point of our case was that they weren't possessed, that there weren't any demons, that these kids just had some traumatic issues.
Yeah, but when he walked in and the lights flickered, did you say, start the car,
right.
start the car?
I go, start the car, it's not a cow.
I start crossing yourself, get the holy water, holy water.
It was a bizarre situation because then, at times we would pick up the phone to call our client, and we're picking up phones from extensions. These are numbers that people don't have that they don't know because they've got the basics number for the firm. But we'd pick up the phone, and our client would already be on the phone, and he'd be like, hello, Max. And, you just, how did he get on the phone? How did he know I was calling him? And sometimes, he would say, we're gonna send you over an email or something, and the fax machine would just start shooting out paper. Now, all of these are reasonably explained circumstances and incidents, but everybody in my office at the time had one of these little stories.
Creepy.
A little cipher, yes.
It was weird. It was a little bit weird, especially when the fax machine would just start shooting out the phantom faxes, and I'm sure that I even had the wiring checked.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you call the demon to a stand?
Yeah. So did you have to do depositions with the Warrens?
Well, Ed Warren had already passed away. And I'm trying to remember if we deposed Lorraine Warren. I don't think we did. I don't remember. The previous attorneys may have already done that. Like I said, the case was a long time ago already, but it still keeps coming up in the news. And I every once in a while, I'll do a vanity search. I'll look into it. And actually, Carl reached out to me last Friday.
Who's Carl? Carl is the young boy in the movie, the youngest.
Yes, Carl and David were the two young sons who were both allegedly possessed. I think David was the one that had the exorcism in the book. And I think that you were referring to that a moment ago about Arnie Johnson stepping in, and I think that was at that David exorcism. But I represented both of David and Carl, both of the boys.
Arnie is the one who murdered somebody,
right. Yeah.
and then became the, hey, he was possessed when he did it. The devil made him do it.
Right. He had that very interesting defense that didn't work out. Innocent by reason of demonic possession.
Wow.
You did that work, but no.
But this all happened in Connecticut.
Not,
that movie made $200 million. It happened right in Danbury or whatever.
Well, it was the first murder in Brookfield ever, I think.
Wow.
Holy crap. Damn.
Every once in a while, I come across a person from Brookfield, and if I bring that up, they all know all about it, everything. They've all got stories. Yeah. But the reality of it is these two guys, they had a troubled youth. They grew up. They tried to, build something of their lives, and then all of these movies, and even on the Sci-Fi Channel, I think there was an episode of something. Everybody's referencing it, and the guy's trying to have his construction company, and he's at least he's telling me he's losing contracts because they're now associating him with demons. It was not a good situation for them. I mean, I've got this friend her name is Amanda Knox. And, she had a whole...
I know that name.
Amanda Knox.
Sounds familiar.
The Amanda Knox?
Yeah, the Amanda Knox. And she went through this... She's going through the exact same type of thing where she was part of this whole media hullabaloo years ago, and she can't ever seem to escape the shadow of that, even though, she's been found innocent. And, but, yeah, she's like this.
How are you friends with her? Are you representing her? Did you represent her?
No. I never had anything to do with her in any legal representation capacity. I was on a cruise with my family, and we just started hanging out with her. We didn't know who she was at the time, and we just started going around the Caribbean together at different places, and just we enjoyed each other's company, my family and her family, and
That's wild.
about 3 days in, she's like, "By the way, you may remember me from the media. I may have to knock."
Oops.
I said, "No, yeah, sure."
You got to change
you're
your
like,
name
Yeah,
at
you
some
do.
point.
Start the car.
Exactly right. He
It's
jumped over.
not a cow.
He jumped overboard and landed in the porpoise. Yes.
Oh, that's wild. So you're like, hey, well, I represented a demon kid.
Hey.
The movie.
Let's shake hands.
Wow. You seem
It's
really
the kind of
likable.
thing
Like
that
you
makes
would meet
really
people on
question
vacation.
Fame, though.
What? I
I'm
was
sorry,
talking
what
over.
did
I was talking over everything you said.
I apologize.
That was
No,
my
I was
fault.
saying it's the kind of thing that makes you really appreciate not being famous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it sounds like a terrible curse to have that kind of fame.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever
Yeah.
want to introduce us to your friend Amanda, we'd love to have her.
Yeah, I can probably do that. And she's got a podcast called Labyrinths right now. In fact, she featured my family on that first episode, and we talk about how we met and everything on the cruise ship and a number of interesting adventures.
Wow,
we
you
had.
guys are close if you're on episode 1.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get together every once in a
Yeah.
while. We had dinner in New York. There's I can't remember the name of the place, Jake's Pickle or something. It's a great,
Jake's
great
Pickle?
soul food restaurant.
What do you order at Jake's?
Yeah,
I
that
call.
sounds-
What it is.
What are they famous for?
The name makes me smile.
Yes, it does.
Fried pickles. They do a lot.
Oh,
of it. Yeah,
I'm there.
I
All
know.
right,
It's,
so-
just, it's the most amazing food.
We got to go, but you're a lot of fun on the air,
Yes.
so we'll have you back.
Yes.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm from Rosenberg, Whewell, and Hite. I'm Max Rosenberg in Stratford, Connecticut. And I hope I get to talk to you guys again. Thanks again.
Oh,
for that
you
long
will.
chat.
And
Thank you.
We'll link up to your firm on our website. Thank you.
Please hold your complaints. We're trying.